In a grand kingdom wrapped in gold and glory, there lived a king named Alderan, known far and wide for his wisdom, fairness, and love for his people. Yet, as years passed, a strange emptiness began to haunt his heart. He had everything a man could desire: wealth, loyal subjects, magnificent palaces, but something vital was missing. On his 60th birthday, he looked into the mirror and saw not just wrinkles on his face, but a tired soul beneath the crown. That night, he summoned his royal jeweler and commanded, "Make me a crown unlike any other. A crown not of gold and jewels, but one that shows the true worth of a king." The court was stunned. How could a crown that wasn't adorned with diamonds and rubies reflect a king's worth? Yet, the jeweler set off, confused but inspired. Days turned to weeks. Meanwhile, Alderan, feeling lost, roamed his kingdom in disguise. In the poor villages, he saw families sharing scraps with strangers. He saw a blind boy guiding an old dog to safety, a widow planting seeds in barren soil so others could eat. In each act of kindness, Alderan's heart stirred. One evening, drenched by a sudden storm, the king sought shelter in a humble hut. An old woman with trembling hands offered him dry clothes and half her bread, unaware of his identity. "Why would you give so much to a stranger?" Alderan asked. She smiled gently and replied, "Because we all wear invisible crowns, son. They shine only when we care for others." That night, Alderan wept, not out of sorrow, but because he had found the answer he had been seeking all along. A crown should not glorify the head it rests on, but reflect the hearts it has touched. When he returned to the palace, he asked the jeweler to stop his work. "The crown I seek," he said, "is already being forged in the hearts of the people." The next day, Alderan made a bold declaration before his entire kingdom. "From this day onward," he said, "a new crown shall be passed each year, not to the richest or most powerful, but to the kindest soul in the land." The crowd gasped in wonder. The first recipient was none other than the old woman who had taken him in. Dressed in simple linen, she walked to the throne with tears in her eyes as Alderan placed a handcrafted crown made of simple copper and inscribed with words, "For the one whose heart rules better than any crown." The people erupted in cheers, and many wept. It was not gold that made a crown worthy, it was the humility behind it. As years passed, the tradition blossomed. Children began helping elders, merchants gave away goods to the needy, and strangers became family. The kingdom flourished, not in wealth, but in warmth. Alderan, now aged and grey, watched from his balcony as a small boy received the crown for saving a drowning pup. "There," he whispered to himself, "is the kingdom I always dreamed of." When the king passed away, he left behind no treasure, no war stories, no golden statue. But his story, the story of a man who unlearned power and rediscovered humanity, was passed down like sacred scripture. The crown, still modest, still gleaming, became a symbol of quiet heroism. Every time it changed hands, the land rejoiced, remembering a king who taught them that true royalty lies not in ruling over others, but in lifting them up. And so, in every act of love, Alderan's legacy lived on, etched not in stone, but in the beating hearts of his people.